All right, so let's talk about body awareness. I keep mentioning body awareness as the foundation of our success in any sort of fitness or athletic endeavor. And that's been really a revelation for me throughout my fitness journey as I learned my body mechanics and how to perform exercises using technique, mindfulness, and tension. So those components ultimately help me make those exercises effective and sustainable over time, preventing injuries and leading overall to me feeling good and not constantly sore with back pain and various nagging aches and pains. So body awareness is not just, okay, listen to your body. If you are tired, stop. It's a lot more about how you feel internally and if you're able to tell how you're performing the movement. If you are intrinsically sensing if the movement makes you feel good or bad, if your joint needs to be tweaked in some way for you to be more effective. So, all of these qualities are very much innate to us as we develop as children. And I watch my baby, who's almost 1 year old, develop now, and she's figuring out these movement patterns all on her own. And I watch her in awe because I had to relearn them to become more athletic. So it was almost like at some point I learned them, then I lost them, and then I had to relearn them to become effective in my various interests, lifestyles, sports, athletics. So I had to, for example, standing up off the floor. She just figured this out. She's doing it perfectly. And when I started Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I had to learn it on my own. Again, stand and base for anybody who practices Jiu Jitsu. Another example is obviously squatting. Her squats are absolutely perfect. She drops straight down, doesn't think twice about it. Her knees are not in pain. For me, it took me a while to figure out how to figure out my back angle and my knee angle for me to actually be able to perform a squat and then add weight to it and so on. This is not something babies think about. So this is something babies do naturally. At some point, perhaps when we start school and we start sitting at desks trying to pay attention to the teacher, and then we go to work, and I work in a corporate setting and I sit at a desk all day again. Many of us do. We lose that ability to kind of sense our bodies, and because we're not constantly using our bodies. So now we have this concept of exercise because we have to still use our bodies to be healthy, but our regular lifestyle doesn't so much allow for that. So it's almost like we have to relearn these movement patterns and regain that body awareness and become more conscious of how we move again. So as children, we all did this perfectly, and then we kind of lost that ability over time, and it could have been through various aches and pains. It could have been through some learned affectations through various sports, and just how you grew up, and then how your life continued over time. It's perfectly normal. But for us to enjoy our bodies, I really believe growing body awareness and becoming more in tune with how you move, improving your movement quality over time, is what will make you healthier, stronger, faster, more athletic, and ultimately feeling good in your body. To me, it's move well to feel good. That's moving in harmony with your body. So it's executing perfect technique. It's understanding where your body is in space. It's proprioception, which is literally sensing where your body is in relation to everything else around you. So, like knowing not to hit your head as you walk through the door. It's something that we learn as babies. And I watch my baby figure this out. So she'll bump her head once, she doesn't do it again. So there is a sensory input required to become aware of where a body is in space. And so through trial and error, we develop this proprioception. And that applies to all skilled movements and unskilled movements. It's just something we do. And my suggestion is, as we learn exercises or learn new techniques or athletic endeavors, sports, we revisit that neuromuscular education, that sensory input that we need to get that body awareness back. So, over time, our posture has changed, the way we walk changed. Maybe we haven't squatted much, and that pattern is lost to us for a short while until we want to revisit it again. And that's what body awareness is to me, where we focus on the movement quality of any given movement. I speak specifically about exercise, but it's true for any movement. It's about how you walk, how you run, how you sit, how you squat, how you pick things up off the floor, how you don't walk into a doorway. All of those things are about awareness. So it's a lot less about kind of listening to your body to stop an exercise, if you've had enough. It's more about, how is the quality of my movement? Are my knees and back feeling supple as I perform the squat? Can I perform it better? Do I feel better or worse having performed this movement? Where is my neck? Is it kinked? Can you tell? So at first pass, you might say, "Oh, I'm fine. I've had this posture for 10 years. I'm fine. 10, 20, 50 years, doesn't matter. You're used to it. So the feedback is gone because it's that's just what you're used to living with. But now we turn on more awareness, more conscious awareness of where our neck is, how our back moves through space, how our posture works. And then we notice, okay, actually I have a tendency to lift my chin and kind of sit in my shoulders and kind of hunch forward. I totally have this tendency. That's why I'm showing this particular posture style. Many people have this tendency as well. So recognizing that we have this tendency, and then sort of developing that awareness of, okay, I have a tendency to hunch my shoulders and lift my chin. Do I want to fix it? How do I fix it? So there's these conversations and can be had, and then we can start troubleshooting and say, okay, well, this is actually affecting how your back moves. And so can we kind of get your neck longer and get your shoulders down? That now becomes an interesting exercise in and of itself, but learning that awareness at first to even become interested in, okay, this postural tendency that I have might be causing my injury proneness in my back. Yes, for me, for sure. Now leads to more interesting discussions where we can troubleshoot, and it's not like squats aren't for me. It's when I perform squats, I have this tendency, and I will now be aware of it, and then I will pay attention to actually improving my neck posture to heal my back, for example. That might be something, that takes you to that breakthrough and gives you that epiphany about a particular movement pattern. Again, babies don't need this sensory input, but we have sat at desks so much, and we have done, so many things to our bodies and lost that connection over time, that we might need to revisit that. This is my reset program. This is where I talk about, how do I reconnect with my body, understand the alignment tendencies that I have, and then notice that, is this actually making me feel better or worse? And is there a way I can free up my neck? I can free up my back. I can stabilize. I can mobilize. I can align. All of these conversations now happen as a result of you becoming more consciously aware of how you move. So that's body awareness.